Well, Headrush just released update 4.0, and they also released the new Headrush Flex Prime. Now, I don't have the Flex Prime with me, but I do have the big one. You know, I got the big Prime, whatever the hell that's called. Optimus Prime? I don't know. I do have that here, and I'm going to show you what's in the update, or at least a lot of the things that are in the update, by using the Optimus Prime. Now, I've had my struggles with their products over the years. I always felt like there was something missing with some of their stuff, and it didn't always really hit the mark with me. So let's see if this update could change my mind. Well, thanks for joining me for today's video, and thanks to, this is his email handle, and I think it's his YouTube handle as well, SunEboy76. I have a Headrush Prime that he sent me a while back, so I can do videos on it for you guys. I can do updates, tutorials, and stuff like that. And I haven't touched it in a while because I've been busy with other things, but I also haven't touched it in a while because they haven't had any updates come out until just recently. So with this update, you get better quality clones when you clone your amplifiers, which I think is great because I struggled with that with the previous videos that I did with this unit. You also get super clones, which I'm not going to get into in this particular video because I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. But basically what super clones are is you can clone several different stages of your amplifiers, and by turning the gain knob on the unit, it switches to those different stages when you do that, and that's kind of cool. Actually, it's a pretty cool feature. You can also blend different amp clones together by doing that. You can go from one to the other and stuff like that. So I think it's kind of nifty, if I could use such a stupid word, that they're doing that. And I'm glad that they're trying different things and giving us different options with their products. Now, I made a clone of my Badlander, and I cloned it with the amp and cab and the mics and all that kind of stuff. So let's just see how close this unit got to that clone. So there's no overdrive pedals involved or anything like that in the signal chain, either on the real amp or on the Headrush pedal board itself. So we're just going to hear the raw amp tone through the cab and mics and do a comparison with them right now. So when you see the amp and cab on the bottom corners of the screen here, that means I'm playing through the amp and cab. When you don't, that means I'm playing through the Headrush. Well, if you ask me, it's pretty damn close. I think it does a really good job with the clones. Okay, I'm in editing mode right now, and I just listened to the comparison between the Headrush clone and the actual Badlander that I cloned with the Headrush. Listen to those right next to each other because I spliced them together in the video. When I was shooting the video, I had to switch wirelesses and, you know, do all the stuff, and there was probably 20 seconds in between playing between each unit. So I didn't notice a huge difference, but listening to them in the editing right next to each other, there's a pretty damn big difference between them. The Headrush clone sounds good, but the top end is quite a bit different than the actual amp itself. It's darker, and I think with some tweaks and maybe some fine tuning, I could probably fix that, but you know, I can't really do that right now. It's after the fact, but I just wanted to point that out to you, that I think it still does a pretty good job, but you'll have to do some tweaks with it. And that's something that they really need to fix, because how come I can use the NAMM stuff and the quad CORTEX and I don't have to do any of that? It just nails it every time. Tonex too. Tonex nails it every single time as well. So they really need to fix that. That's something that they still need to work on. I'm glad that they're continuing to update the unit, but it's just not there yet as far as accuracy goes when it comes to the clones. Now, do they sound good? Yes, but are they as accurate as we want them to be? No, and you shouldn't have to tweak anything afterwards. The algorithm should do that automatically. Because here's the thing, when you're tweaking stuff, I have to literally switch between the amp and the clone back and forth, and I have to listen through my in-ears for the amp, and the clone goes out to like some sort of other monitor, like a studio monitor. That's how I had to hook it up, based on the way they had things wired. I wish I could have this going into my board and I can listen to them both on the same source of headphones or in-ear monitors. But with my setup anyways, that can't happen. I have to have it hooked up to an exterior source, and it's hard to really match tones when you do that. So they need to fix the way things are routed before that can be perfected. I just thought I would interject here and make sure that I put this in here because, like I said, I'm in editing mode and I just listened to it and I'm like, I can't not say anything right now. I have to say something. Anyways, back to the rest of the video, and just keep everything that I just said in mind when you're listening to the rest of my statements in the video. And once I hit it with the boost pedal inside the Headrush Prime, it sounded amazing and the feel was really good as well. So let's turn that on now and hear what it sounds like with the, what do I got in here? Some greener, I guess, is the name of the pedal. I can't keep track of all these freaking names, but anyways, let's hear what it sounds like. So before we dig into the software, let me just show you the 4 presets or 4 scenes that I set up on the Headrush Prime. I set up a crunch, big crunch, lead, and phase lead. So with the crunch, I have the overdrive on it and a noise gate. They all have variants of a noise gate on them depending on my needs and stuff. But I also have the big crunch, which has chorus and delay, and the lead has delay, and the phase lead has a phase 90 type pedal in front of the amp and some delay as well. So let me just play through those right now, show you what they sound like, and then I'll show you the software. Okay, so those are the 4 scenes that I set up. So let's head over to the computer and take a look at the software for that. Now there's some really good things with the software, but that being said, there's some things that I'd like to see changed regarding workflow and how you set up the scenes and all that kind of stuff. Now I could be wrong on some of this stuff. Maybe I need to dig deeper into it and find the workarounds, but if you guys can find workarounds for some of this stuff, let me know in the comments section. But as far as my experience is concerned with this unit, there definitely needs to be some changes made, in my opinion anyways, regarding the workflow and how you set up your scenes. All right, so here's the software. So basically, if you want to assign pedals to each one of your scenes, turn them on and off, you just click on this assign button up here, and then you go into whatever scene you're on and then hit edit. So you can basically have multi-chorus on, off, or no change. So, you know, I'm on big crunch, I want it on, so I leave it on there, and that's basically it. You just go in and turn the pedals on and off accordingly per scene that you want. Now, if you want to adjust the settings of the pedal, then you just click on the pedal and all your settings are right here. Okay, now here's where I have a bit of an issue with this, with this workflow, is because when I change these settings, it's global. It's not per scene, as far as I know. So I'm trying to figure out a way where I can do it per scene, so that if I want more or less delay on my big crunch scene, I can do that. But if I change this, it changes it globally for all of them. So what I have to do then is add another delay pedal and use that just for my big crunch setting, so I can have the right amount of delay level and all that kind of stuff on that. So that's something that I would like them to change. I would like to be able to change not only the on and off of the pedal per scene, but I want to change the settings of that pedal per scene. And I just think that would be a lot handier than adding another pedal and having to dial that all in and using up more DSP with that. So, but again, you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong with that, and let me know you know, what I can do to work around that, because it's very frustrating, to be honest with you. So let's go back here. Let's go back to the crunch scene. Let's just hear this once again. So I have my greener pedal, I have my amp clone, and everything else is off. Let's just take a listen. All right, that sounds good. And here, let's go to big crunch. So I have my multi-chorus on, tape echo on. Here's another thing too. As far as delays go, you get a bunch of weird ones, but you don't get any normal ones as far as I've seen so far. So let's do this. Let's go back into the big crunch. Let's turn the tape echo off. Now I want to add a pedal. So let's see here. I think I have to do that up here in my signal chain. So I want to add a pedal. Let's go down to delay, and all these are, I just wish they gave us like a normal delay pedal, like a ping pong stereo delay with no weird shit in it, you know. Here's an air delay. So you have default mono. Let's just do default ping pong. Let's hear what this sounds like. Okay, sounds like shit. It's just way over the top, too much crap going on. Let me see if I can figure this out here. High pass mix. Let's just take the mix down a bit here. Let's see what we got. Yeah, just a lot of weird crap going on. I don't know why anybody would use this. Maybe it's for cleans, you know, maybe it would be kind of cool for that. Let me just take some of this down. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here, but let's see what this does. Okay. No, don't like it. So let's go to something else here. Default ping pong, default ping sync. Nah. Let's just go to another type of delay pedal. Maybe we can. Let's just get rid of this. How do I get rid of this again? I got to figure that out. Oh, delete. Drag it down to delete. Yes, delete that crap. All right, let's go back down to delay. So, I don't know. Some of these other pedals were really weird. The only thing I could get that sounded decent was tape echo, and I'm not a big tape echo guy, but I mean, you know, yeah, it's just not ideal for me. So let's go to default stereo on the again delay. Let's see what that sounds like. All right, I might be able to work with that. Let's turn the ambience off. Always trails on. Delay mix. Let's take that down a little bit. And I want, this is for a rhythm, so I want about 550 milliseconds. Let's see what this sounds like. Yeah. Let's just take some of this down. Chorus rate, chorus depth. Well, whatever. Let's see what this does. Yeah, you hear all that warbly crap in the background? It just, you know, doesn't work for me. So I'm kind of stuck with this, where is it? This tape echo right now, which isn't my ideal delay, but it'll work. I can get it to work, but if I want to have a different setting on that pedal, I have to add another one to the signal chain, use up more DSP, dial it in differently for my rhythm tone than my rhythm patch than I would for my lead patch. So it's just more work for me. I'd rather just turn a few knobs, make a few adjustments on the same pedal per scene, and then, you know, leave it at that. It's just a lot easier. So again, I could be wrong, but if I'm not, they need to change that, because that's frustrating as hell. But other than that, I think the software is really good, and I gotta congratulate them for finally releasing that. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna enjoy that. I do like the fact that you don't have to hook a cable up to the computer to make it work. You just type in your, you know, whatever web address is associated with your Prime or your whatever Headrush product, and it'll link to it instantly. It's very fast, and all the changes happen instantaneously. So it's a really smooth operating system, you know, so I do like that a lot. And I guess you can use it on your phone, your iPad, whatever, so that's cool. You know, that is a cool way to do it. I do like that. I also like the fact that you can clone your overdrive pedals with this unit as well. I didn't do that for this video, but maybe I can do that in future videos. But I do like that because you can, you know, have your favorite overdrives in here. You don't have to wait for an update where one of those will hopefully be in there. You can just make your own updates, you know, same thing with amps and pedals and all that. So I think that's pretty freaking kick-ass. So I'm glad they updated the algorithm regarding cloning. I think the clone that I did today came out really good, and I would easily use this on stage, and it sounds great. So not a problem with that. I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm glad they put the app in there, so it does make things easier to operate on your computer or your iPad or whatever, even though the unit itself has a really big touchscreen and is pretty easy to operate as well. But aside from that, I just think that we need some better, more normal type of delay pedals for guys like me who don't want to have to dial out all the weird shit that's in there and just get back to a normal ping pong stereo digital delay. I mean, just put one of those in there and I'll be happy with the delays, you know. I mean, it was almost like, let's see how weird we can get with these delay pedals. And I think it's cool that you can have some weird stuff in there for people who want to kind of push the limits and come up with some pretty unique things. But for the majority of us, I think I can speak for us and say, just give us some normal shit too. I don't want to have a horrible first impression of a delay pedal and then have to pull all this stuff out only to realize that it still doesn't sound the way I want it to. So a good digital delay pedal would be perfect. Just, you can have it mono or stereo, normal settings, no weird shit, and just leave it at that. That would be freaking awesome. I'm really surprised they didn't do that. You know, it's just a little weird. And that's what I mean about Headrush. I mean, they're a good company. They've definitely made some, you know, some decent things, and there's a lot of people that like their stuff, and I don't fault anybody for that, and I'm not judging anybody for that. I'm not trying to be some arrogant YouTuber here. I mean, I see a lot of good here. I really do. But I also see some weird stuff as well. It's almost like going to an ice cream parlor and they make amazing hot fudge sundaes, but they always put a pickle on it. And you're like, why did you do that? Nobody wants a pickle on their hot fudge sundae, you know? So I just think there's a couple of pickles in this unit that they need to kind of figure out, you know. And one of them is the weird delays, and the other is the workflow for setting up your scenes. You know, I don't want to have to dial in a whole new pedal per scene, you know, and save it that way and add it to the chain, taking up more DSP. I'd rather take the existing pedal that I like and just tweak it for that scene, and then it saves it for that scene, and then for the next scene, it doesn't change it. It's not global. I could be wrong. Again, please tell me in the comments. I always leave room for that. I'm not going to sit here and deep dive with this for hours and hours before I do a video. I do my research, but I can only do so much. As it is, I have about 4 hours into this video before I even started shooting it. So just so you guys know. So I'm doing everything I can to learn about this stuff and, you know, inform myself and familiarize myself with this stuff. But anyways, let's go ahead and play this in a full mix, and let's just see how this sounds in a mix with the effects that I dialed in and the different presets and everything. I'll be using the crunch, big crunch, and lead preset in this mix here, and let's just see how everything sounds.
Ties that bind us to our past.
Well, that's going to have to do. That was probably my 10th take on that, and I don't think I'm going to get it any better than that today. Some days it just doesn't all come together for you, and you just got to deal with it, you know. But hopefully you enjoyed the mix and how this sounded in the mix. For the most part, I think the effects are pretty damn good in this. I want to see them make the changes that I mentioned earlier regarding the delays. I mean, I can work with what it has, but I'd prefer to have a normal type of ping pong digital delay in here. So that would be nice. And I know I sound like a whiny bitch, but it is what it is, right? You know, I'm just giving you my opinions about this, and you take them all with a grain of salt and proceed accordingly. But regarding tone and feel, I think the clone that I made sounds great. The feel is really good on it. I got no issues with it. And I bet you if I do some more clones down the road, I'll improve on that even more in the future. So I think there's a lot of hope regarding the clones with this thing now. I think it sounds a lot better than it did when I first reviewed it. And I think it's only going to get better from here on out. And I am really glad that they made the editing software. One thing to note, this is something I learned before I did my mix, because I wanted to make one more change to something before I did the mix, and it was just a fine-tuning thing. And I kept changing it on the pedal, and it wouldn't save it. And I got so freaking frustrated. I was like, oh, I still have the editor up on my computer, and I think that if you have that up on your computer, that's going to override everything. So I went and made the same change on the editor, and it saved it. So if you're making changes on this thing, make sure it's not hooked to the internet regarding that editing software, because if it is, you got to use that. Otherwise, any changes you make on the pedal will not save. I just wanted to point that out to you, because I almost picked up my house and threw it across the country because I got so frustrated with that. It was anyways, that was on me. It's just one of those things. You just got to remember to shut your editor off if you're going to make changes on the pedal board. So would I take this to a gig? Yeah, I think it sounds good enough, and it has all the things that I need for a gig, you know. I mean, it wouldn't be a problem. But that said, I have the Nano Cortex and I have the Dime Head NAM player, and they're a lot smaller, a lot more lightweight, and I could literally put those in the glove box of my car and take it to a gig, plop it on the floor, and everything I need is there as well. So it's funny, like all the stuff that's getting smaller these days is replacing the stuff that we thought was small several years ago. You know, that being said, I mean, the Headrush Prime, the mega pedal board, whatever this thing is, it's huge compared to those units, and it's pretty damn heavy, you know. So yeah, I would probably pick one of those two other units over this for a gig, because they're lighter and smaller, you know. But if you already own the Headrush and you're happy with it, I think you're going to be happy with the updates. I mean, the clones do come out really good now, and I think the editing software is pretty damn cool, and it's only going to get better from here. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got something out of it, and I want to thank everyone who has been purchasing all of my capture and preset packs from my website for the Nano Cortex, the Quad Cortex, the KEMPER, the Tonex, and the NAM player. And much more to come in the future, obviously. And I really appreciate you guys very much, and I'm glad you're enjoying the tones that you're getting. And if you're interested in getting any of that stuff, click on the link below in the description of the video and go to my website, tonewars.com, and do some shopping around and see if there's something there that you like as well. To all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're new to the channel and you like what I do here, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with another episode. Well, I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.